And we're live. Amazing. Amazing. I'm going to go into the group and just make sure that we've got no dramas. Helen's in the house.
I am.
How you doing, Mrs.?
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
You look remarkably well, as always.
Nothing remarkable. It takes serious work. Well, it's dedication, isn't it? It's dedication to my health. It's a priority.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. I am literally right. We're live there. Fantastic. Okay. So, everybody, it's Helen.
Hi.
It's me and Helen and me doing our thing.
It's
doing our thing. Okay. So, just for everybody who is joining, I can see that Laura and Sarah join us, which is awesome.
Hi.
For anybody who's joining, can you go in Facebook at the top, just above the description? It will say there, can you give StreamYard permission to use your name? And if you're happy to do that, I can see on Facebook who it is because I can see that Laura and Sarah are here. But on StreamYard, it just says Facebook user. So
and I can't see anything.
Don't worry. You got your wing woman. I'm here.
I know.
It's all good.
I told everyone several times, remember that I can't read my screen because my screen is a phone and there's a tiny dotted little writing scrolling across the bottom.
Yeah, don't worry. I got you. I got you. So Laura and Sarah in the house. Love it. Where do I press? So what you do is go to the top. Go to in Facebook in the group. Go to the top and it will say StreamYard. I'm going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission. So use that link. Click that link and it will give StreamYard permission. It's very quick and easy to do. And once you've done it once, you don't need to do it again. That's it. Love it. Love it. Helen. Look, we've had some technical stuff. We've dealt with it.
I know we're all efficient today, aren't we? We even allowed the first 15 minutes to.
We were like, let's jump on at 1:15 just to make sure. Let's get it sorted. Now, Helen, I know you, and some of the members of Your True Self know you, but there are also a lot of members that won't know you. So they're new members or they haven't seen you. So would you let
we've only got an hour.
Would you let people know who Helen is? And we'll go from there. We'll just do what we do and we'll just let the conversation go. So, who's Helen?
I have multiple videos online with my story, my personal journey, but the very, very short version is I was seriously assaulted and stabbed in the neck in 2006, and it left me paralyzed for 7 years. I was told I'd never walk again. I had immune deficiency and autoimmune disease and several other associated diseases and conditions. I was severely overweight and basically I was dying. I was just dosed up on medication and drugs and alcohol and just paralyzed in bed for 7 years. And during that time, I learned quite a few things, and I also did a whole host of professional qualifications so that I could start to improve things for myself, because I didn't want to accept that I could never walk again or dance or do any of the things that I love doing. I'm also a mum of 6 and I had a baby at the time, so I really was conscious of the fact that I was missing out on my children growing up, and they were missing out on the physical side of me, even though, you know, the mental, emotional and the presence was there, because I couldn't move. I was just like a vegetable in bed. So I turned this situation around and I dropped my body weight by 11 dress sizes. I went for surgery and I did a lot of inner martial arts work, which focuses on changing the body from the inside out. And I became able to walk and run and dance, and I took part in several races and I did loads of competitions, And I started to become a TV personality, and I went on several television programs, mainstream, on the BBC, Sky, ITV, all of that. And I did all of that, and I started to become really quite famous. But one day I was walking down the road, and I tripped and fell. I felt really tired, and all of a sudden I felt overcome with dizziness, and my eyesight, everything went blue. And I got rushed into hospital, and I came away from there fine. It was absolutely fine. They couldn't find anything. I was absolutely fine. Because when you go to an NHS hospital, they only search for what they assume is the problem. So they search to see if that's the problem, and they tell you if it's confirmed or not. And so they were searching for something physical, and hypoglycemia was... Sorry, you still there? Hypoglycemia was one of the things. And I went down this rabbit hole of nutrition and all the rest of it, trying to fix the problem as what caused that incident. But then over the next 16 weeks or so, my nose was dripping out of control, and I was a public speaker by then, and I'd you and I had started to work together, and my nose just kept dripping, and it's actually dripping now, but it's not because I'm sick, it's because I'm surrounded by seedlings in my kitchen. But yeah, my nose was dripping. So I got really frustrated, because obviously being a public figure by then and appearing regularly on TV and various networks, I went to find out privately why this was happening, because it was, it was like a puppy, my nose. My nose was just out of control. It was just flowing. And I learned that I had stage 4 rapidly advanced, aggressive terminal cancer. And they told me I only had 100 days to live. And so by that point, I had so many professional qualifications and so much knowledge and so much insight into how my body worked. I just didn't accept it for a second. And I came away, and I entered into changing my inner terrain, focused purely with nutrition. And that was, it was 3,050 days ago. So I'm completely thriving, illness and disease free now. So that's pretty much my backstory.
And there is a lot more, everybody. This is a very summarized version.
Yeah, because we've only got an hour.
Yeah, exactly. So on that journey, now I'm a member of your Food Academy, and the knowledge you share is ridiculous. I've gone on a whole new journey with doing different things with food. It's been amazing. And I want to show people in the group how what we put into us, and that's not just food, that's everything, literally can save our life and can change our life. And so what would you say are the main things with regards to nutrition? I mean, it's massive, isn't it? And we could spend hours and hours, like a week, not just an hour talking about this.
The thing is, food isn't just about eating, actual food. It's all about the mental, the physical, the emotion, the hormones. It's all one package. So when we look at holistic health, we're looking at the entire being, the entire person. So you've got this energy field around you. That is the start of you. And then your physical is inside this kind of shell. So we look at everything. So the key areas when we're talking about physical food is literally sugars, fats, getting the combination right with how your body is digesting food. Because if we take a carrot and a potato, so we take a spoonful of carrots and we eat the carrots, our DNA has a coding system in it that tells us that's a carrot, and our body will process it and it will draw the nutrients from it that it needs. Amazing. But if we put a spoonful of potato and carrot combined in, then suddenly we're chewing it, we're quite happy, it's delicious, but our supercomputer inside our body is going, oh, it's a new vegetable, and it stores 90% of it in fat stores. And it only extracts about 1% of nutrients, and the rest just goes to waste. So it's all about learning how your individual body processes food. So there's there's a rabbit hole, because metabolism, your sleep patterns, how much fluids you're having, what your day-to-day lifestyle is. It's very individual. It's as individual as a fingerprint. And so there isn't a one size fits all. But why I started Food Academy was I've run and hosted thousands of groups over the last 10, 12 years. And one of the key things, I could teach you 500 different ways to improve yourself, right? I could show you, I could inspire you, I could show you photographs of myself, videos of myself, dribbling and really, really ill. But if you are not getting this combination of how you're putting concentrated nutrients in, the rest of it all just falls away. And so Subconscious Compass was a group that I ran back to back every month last year. And it was amazing. The results were phenomenal. However, I knew that 80% of members were going away each day and maybe pulling up at the drive-through McDonald's, or buying their supplements from Holland and Barrett, which is the McDonald's high street vitamin equivalent of fast food, fast vitamins, or even worse, savers or something like that. So what they were putting in was useless. So their minds, it didn't matter what information I was giving them, their minds were just absorbing it in the moment while I was there. But afterwards, it was all just going, and they couldn't understand why it wasn't working. So I decided to do this year because I know the value from personal experience of what you put in terms of food, fluids, information, emotions, who you're connected with. I mean, I'm so thankful for our connection over the years. It's just, for the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, aren't you? So, I'm abundantly thankful for our connection, for example.
Yeah, as am I. And I love it. I want to read these comments to you because let's have a look. So Laura has said, the Food Academy is an incredible, in capital letters, great container, learning so much. And it's amazing that Terry's here. So Terry's listening, and I need to just double check to make sure, because we've got lots of people watching. Michelle's watching. Trisha's had to go, but she said she's definitely going to catch it on replay. Dawn's here. Sarah Godfrey's here. And Sarah has said, Sam Smith has said, definitely saw the amazing results in all my children. My Harry is becoming so much stronger. And as we know, that is a young boy who really didn't want to eat much at all, and now he's thriving.
I just like to talk about her. Can I just talk about her for 2 minutes?
Yeah, please do.
So basically, she contacted me in December at the start, just before New Year, and I said, please trust me. I know the scenario. You really want to change things for yourself. You want to become holistically healthy. You want to be more conscious of what you're putting in. However, you have this house full of kids, this house full of family that are not on board, and they will not, no matter what you do, they will not eat what you cook. So you end up having to spend loads of money and buying all these different things and cooking all these different meals for all the people in your house, the fussy eaters, who will not come on board with this experience, no matter what. Now, I had terminal cancer, and my kids still would tell me to F off if I tried to give them a plate of what I was eating. Like I had to eat copious amounts of green vegetables, for example. If I tried to serve that out for dinner, they were driving to the drive-through McDonald's. It was like one of those things. So I understood immediately what she was telling me. I understood without her having to say very much, because I've, like I said, I'm basing all my stuff on actual experience. I haven't just copied and pasted an article from somewhere. I've actually lived this myself, right? So I said to her, look, please join my group. I'm about to launch it. So she was the first member because I told her about it before I told anyone else. And I said, I promise you, within 1 week, if you haven't seen any changes, even tiny ones, I'll give you your money back and you can stay in the group for free. But I promise you, within 1 week, you will see a difference. And she just blew up. She did. She absolutely, she's probably commenting now, but she absolutely blew up because her son has autism tendencies, and for the first time ever, this brought tears to my eyes. It really did. For the first time ever, the other day, she's been with me 12 weeks now. For the first time, her son, I love you, mummy.
Yeah.
For the first time ever. And she's had calls from her school teachers, from her children's school teachers, asking her, because the change has been phenomenal in her family, and they're all eating the same food as what she's eating, so she hasn't had to spend loads of money and make loads of different things. And that's just one example. Right across the board, everyone is experiencing this.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And what's great is everybody in the group is sharing lots of information, sharing lots of experimenting, trying new things. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant because you look and go, and I've had to take a couple of weeks back. So we're doing loads of stuff and I don't want to get distracted. And I've come back in and gone, wow. And I put a message in today saying,
I saw,
wow, I'm going to be catching up, but this is absolutely awesome. So yeah, absolutely phenomenal.
well, the thing is, for me, when I was going through really dark times in the past, and obviously being paralyzed and in bed for 7 years, there was a hell of a lot of suicidal depression that came along with it for me. So I know the value of somebody just being there. Yeah. So I'm there. People contact me at all hours of the day and night, and sometimes I'm asleep, sometimes I happen to see, and I do reply. I don't reply straight away sometimes, but I do reply like fairly quickly, like no more than a few hours. I am available. So coaching, mentoring, it goes on the group, but it's going on privately as well. So people are really, really getting to know themselves and becoming self-aware and just having much more of a vibrant life than they did 12 weeks ago. So I've shared a gallery on Facebook with all the photographs that people have sent in. And if you look, it starts off quite bland, and then as it goes down, you're scrolling the colour, the vibrancy of the food that they're creating. And then the musical instruments, because it's not just about food. People are playing musical instruments, and we're doing various meditations, and we're doing various other things at the same time. It's life being celebrated, and it's just basically me sharing my gold standard of things that I do all the time, and I take for granted that I do them all the time now, and my kids take it for granted because this is our way of life. It's not you know, it's not seasonal, it's not just for Christmas, you know, we're doing this permanently. And so I decided to open my doors and just share everything with everyone to inspire, because I don't like telling people what to do, and we don't demonize anything on the group at all.
I agree.
So if you want to go, you know, if you want to eat half a cow, that's great. If you don't want to eat half a cow, that's great too. You know, like I don't demonize anything. So some people have asked me about coffee, and I've said enjoy the cup. In fact, this is coffee. Harvey made it. He ground the beans and he made me a lovely cup of coffee. Here you go, Mum, just before the talk. And I was like, oh, delicious. Now, I didn't ask for the coffee, but I have it, and I'm enjoying every sip.
Yeah.
We don't demonize anything. If you want to have something, have it. But do not go into this spiral of, I really shouldn't be doing this, you know, because you are doing it, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
You are doing it. So why beat yourself up? Life's way too short for these kind of nuances. You know, you want to be happy and balanced so that you can digest food properly.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, okay, so Sam, I'm going to call Sam on here because
I know it's confusing.
Because otherwise people would be like, Sarah. So
she's like super mum.
Yeah, super mum. Let's call her super mum.
Super
Definitely
mum.
saw the amazing results in all my children. My Harry is becoming so much stronger. Now, Michelle has said, what is the best way to start this? Now, we will let you know. Don't worry, Michelle. I've mentioned this to Michelle as well. We'll let you know during this call. So don't worry. All the information to join Food Academy will be clear for everybody by the end of this call. Sam's put, super mum has put, I got phone calls off the children's schools. I am crying hearing I love you, mummy off Harry. He is non-verbal. So it's massive.
It
Absolutely
is.
massive.
It's huge. Absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. And it's only
Oh,
down
and
to
he drew a family
now.
picture as well for the first
Mm,
time.
yeah.
So that's amazing as well.
And Supermum's also put, Helen was there for me when I was in a tears. Annalise had a water infection and Helen just held space for me and helped me with something to give her. And when I felt low, Helen lifted me back up. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So for that, now we spoke about all sorts of things that we digest. Now, food obviously is one of them. We know. So give a little bit of an idea to those that Helen, give it the Helen special sauce as to the different things you mean with regards to what we put into our body and how important it is to get it right.
Okay, well, when I was severely overweight, because I have shrunk my body by 11 dress sizes before I knew I was ill, remember, and that took serious dedication and serious work. Okay, my family background is actually Anglo-Indian, Burmese and Thai. So somebody in a dietitian's office suggesting to me to eat toast, it just weren't cutting any, it just wasn't. I have chili with everything and, flavor.
Yeah.
I have spices. My spice knowledge is vast. It is extremely, extraordinarily huge, right? I can tell you what year in the 1500s something moved from this country to this country and how the plant changed. I can tell you technical details that you just don't know, but I find fascinating. My spice knowledge and my flavor knowledge started when I was about 3. So somebody suggesting to me that I eat cereal, yogurt, toast, and orange juice for breakfast just weren't doing it for me. There was no orgasm involved, I just weren't happy with this thing. So I decided to have a real look at how these things all work together and chemical process, the acidity, the alkaline, plus the emotions. Because if I say it in a simple way, if I'm cooking something and I'm in a bad mood, the food doesn't come out right. It comes out, it's not the same. But if I'm like this and I'm all happy and I'm thinking about getting on here to talk with Lisa, how exciting is that? And I'm stirring my pots. Everybody's sitting at the table going, "Oh, Mum, this is delicious. What did you do?" And I was thinking about my talk with Lisa in a little while, and I was excited. It's the magic ingredient. It's so emotions play a huge part, and then it's combining the foods. So you've got alkaline, acidity, sweet, sour, hot. All the flavors from around the world. And also, I have also found a way, because I don't like to eat huge plates of food. I can fit what I eat on like a 7-inch sandwich plate for a meal, right? I don't sit and eat huge amounts of food in one go. I like to space them out. So I found a way of concentrating the food. So we use dehydration, which turns the food.
Which I love.
It turns the food. So say like if you take a teaspoon of mushroom granules that you've made in your dehydrator, it's 40 times the concentrated nutrients of eating the whole packet of mushrooms. And the same with we're growing our own microgreens. We're also growing our own food. So I have surrounded by me, this is why my nose is running because of the pollen. I'm surrounded by seedlings right now. And I've recently finished a course in hydroponics, which is soil-less growing. so that anyone can grow anything in their house in a tub of water.
Amazing.
And I think, so I'm about to start teaching this in Food Academy as well. Yeah, so it is amazing. So you can feed yourself by growing your own food, sprouting your own microgreens, dehydrating your own fresh food, and combining it with my recipes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I might inspire you to create your own recipes with my just by sharing what I'm doing each day. You might come up with your own kind of, but by sticking to the principles of something alkaline, acidic, the emotional state, you know, the magic, so keeping the magic alive every day, and getting your body to process the food in the way that we need it to process the food, so our skin stays beautiful and glowing like this, our hair's all shiny, we feel amazing, rather than lethargic, fed up, what the hell am I doing, you know, or if a problem arrives all of a sudden, you do not become overwhelmed if you're taking care of it in a terrain. It's very straightforward. And if you do become overwhelmed, then all you have to do is leave me a voice note and I will kick you up the arse.
The proverbial arse kicking.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know what to do.
Love it. Love it. And hang on one second.
It's basically just all about taking all the tools that I know and that I actually do. Right, this isn't about me just learning, because I am a professor of behavioural science and psychology and criminology, right? But I don't just take things that I learned academically and say, oh, well, this is the way. If I haven't tried it myself, or if I'm not doing it myself, it doesn't have a place in the group. So it's all things that I'm actually doing, and that my children are all in the group. So I'm not going to lie, because if I do, they're the judge, jury, and executioner. You know, they're my biggest kind of. I want them to feel proud of me, and so everything is 1,000 billion% authentic, and it's all stuff that I would be happy, and I am happy to give them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that speaks volumes, because I don't know a single other group like this. And so this is what I've created it in this way, so that my children want to be there. Yeah. If one of them suddenly turns around and says to me, oh, I need to leave, I'll be like, oh, you know, there's no obligation for them to be there. They want to be there. I haven't made them. They've all signed up themselves. You know, I haven't made them. I haven't said, oh, you have to be in my food group. They have, oh, can I look? Yeah, and they've all stayed. So as long as that's, you know, that's my kind of like benchmark, isn't it? That's my thing, because they're very judgmental of me. You know, if I say something that's even remotely incorrect, they're like, Mum.
Excuse me, Mum.
Yeah.
Love it. Sam's putting Helen's magic into food. Love it. And Dawn has said, I want to feel like that. Dawn, we'll give you details at the end as to exactly how to join Food Academy and information, etc. So not to worry, we will.
It's quite simple, actually, Lisa. It's very, very simple. All you have to do is leave a comment on one of my posts, send me a friend's request, or just message me, and I'll send you the payment details, and you're in. All I need is your phone number for WhatsApp. Now, I'm not like other coaches. I do not have time for maintaining a website, maintaining a fast active group like Lisa. I'm in awe of Lisa all the time. I don't know how she does it. I don't even have a clock in my house, right? It's Harvey, my son, that told me the time to come on here. Right. The only time I look at a clock is when I'm getting a train or an airplane or I'm traveling somewhere. It's literally the only time I look at times. So there's no time limit. There's no kind of, you know, the only rule is that there's no judgment and there's no demonizing. That is it. And so you can you can do things, you can join in or not join in. I also include in every single thing that I do, I include the option to remain anonymous. So you don't even have to give your real name. I can put your name in the group as anything you want. I've had people that just wanted to be known as M before, you know, or number 2 or something like that. I've had people. So it's not something, there's no sort of hard and fast rules. I don't want people to feel tied to me in any way. It's equal. We're all equals. We're all in this life thing together. And if we can spread the magic and just feel a little bit sparkly. You say Terry's in the group.
Terry's listening now. Terry's listening now.
She did the group with me last year, and that was one of the things she left as a testimonial, was that she started to feel magic. She had started to feel magic and glittery in her day to day. So that was one of the things I'm very big on, injecting this energy into things and allowing people to experience their own essence. So it's not about experiencing my essence. You're getting to know yourself.
Yeah, love it. Love it. And Sam's put, with Helen's Magic Food Academy, it's a safe space and huge loving family. Everyone in the group is amazing. And I can second that because I'm in there. So I do feel that. Yeah, I do feel that completely. Just gonna have some water.
I know, and I've got the lovely.
I love it.
I usually have water, isn't it? But Harvey handed me this, and I was like,
fantastic. Why not? Why not? So, with regards to other things, now obviously I know your journey, and it's huge. And I know that at the beginning of the call, you bear with me, Terry's part. I can't comment and listen for some reason, but I love the other group, and we'll be joining this one. There you go. Love that. Love that. So I know your journey, and it's been huge. So if we've got people in this group that have either like medical things going on, or repetitive health things that are happening, so they're doing some different mind stuff, what would you add that you think, actually, have you thought about this? Have you looked at this that could help? What sort of ideas would you give them in respect of things that they need to observe if they are seeing issues with their health?
It's all about self-awareness. So we have to get to the root as to what pattern of behavior are you doing on a regular basis that is enhancing this problem. And like I said, you know, I can't emphasize enough. It's all emotional energy. So your mind is where your energy flows. That's emotion, energy inflow. So when we fuel our bodies, we are creating energy flowing through our systems. And when we have problems, health problems, there's a blockage somewhere. Now I'm extraordinarily ancient in my wisdom and knowledge, you know, like I have ancient Chinese, Thai, Burmese, you know, wisdom and knowledge when it comes to this sort of thing. And so I know about energy blockages in the body. So I might look at you and say, could you clap for me 30 times really fast? Like, because it clears the energy. And forget my experience of knowing tiny little tricks has come about when I was paralyzed in bed. I couldn't move. So I know the value of subtle. So I might just say, well, your head, could you straighten your head like that? You know, I might just something really subtle and small. And so quite a lot of the stuff that I do, people look at me and they say, well, how are you doing it though? And I said, but I've just told you. Yeah. I sit with my straight.
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff like that. That is the day-to-day, the actual day-to-day living. So how you live, your posture. So if you feel tired, if you feel depressed, do you sit there eating non-stop? Yeah. If you feel sad, do you just put on loads of things on Netflix and sit there in a really awkward position, like leaning, like you're straining one side of your body and creating a blockage? So that problem that you've got, say like if you suffer from migraines. Now, I used to suffer from blinding migraines. Absolutely, they were horrendous years ago. I haven't had a migraine for years, right? But I used to. So I know a bit about that. You know, it is all about where you're sending the energy. So you feel a migraine coming on and you're like, oh my God, I've got a migraine coming on. You've programmed it in instantly.
Yeah.
So it's the inner dialogue, what we're telling ourselves. You know, it's all a picture. There isn't, you can't sort of like pluck one element out and say, okay, if I eat this way, all the other things are going to disappear. You have to work on everything.
Yeah.
Every day, all the time. One of the things that comes up regularly that I see is people saying, well, I had this thing happen, so I didn't do these things, but I'm getting back on track now.
Yeah.
And I look at that and think, but that's the time to implement what you have learned.
Yeah, because that's when it's needed. Yeah.
So Sarah, Sam, she can talk fluently about that now.
Yeah.
Because she started saying that to me, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, having none of that.
I was like, no, now's the time to make your pepper water that I've shown you how to make. Now's the time to drink it. Now's the time to now's the time to think about and stop sharing, you know, depressing stuff on social media, you know, all these things. Like, I've been relentless with her because I knew she could take it.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
Well,
She's probably laughing her head off.
So I'm not highlighting you on purpose, although I am. You know, I am. But I mean, I'm not sort of, you know, I'm not singling you out as such, you know.
I bet she's laughing. She's put LOL, Helen kicked my ass about the pepper water, laughing because I wasn't making it.
Yeah, because she wrote to me saying she's had this problem, and I'm like, but I gave you the tools to so that if you did have a problem, it would be gone within an hour.
So what I'm going to ask for anybody watching, okay, if there is something to do with health and you think, oh, I wonder if Helen might know the answer to that.
I will know.
Now is the time. Yes, exactly that. I know you'll know. Now is the time to ask, okay, in the comments, if there is something that is going on with you, use this opportunity because Helen knows her stuff. So look, Helen's like, oh shit.
No, I'm not. We've only got a little bit longer left.
Yeah, we've got 20 minutes. 20 minutes, everyone. So ask now. Now is the time. Yeah, I love it. Fantastic.
So obesity is a big one. In order to lose weight, you have to program your mind first. And then I can show you what to eat.
Love
so
that.
So that's that one out. What else have we got?
Lower back pain and tiredness.
Tiredness is all related to what you're feeding yourself, with 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. It's your body's not processing nutrients in the right way. Lower back pain is a cause of stress. So what have you got going on that's causing you stress? It can't when things happen in our lives, it manifests in our physical body and it comes out some way. So you might have had a problem 6 months ago and now you've got back pain.
Yeah, no, I know Michelle won't mind me saying this because it has been. Michelle, let me check. Are you happy for me to say, Michelle, about what's happened? Let me know, please, because I don't want to say it unless you give me permission to do so. Okay, lack of motivation. She's laughing. This is Michelle again. Okay, she's given me permission. Right. Michelle,
lack of motivation is you need to be in my group. That problem just doesn't exist there.
Michelle lost her son, Bradley, 4 years ago. And it was a terrible situation. There's a lot going on and it was ongoing. There's some ongoing things to do with what happened, to do with the person that was responsible, etc. So there's a lot of stress. Now, I'm pretty sure that's going to be what it is because of the ongoing things happening. Michelle's doing loads of work.
You know what I'm going to say? Look, I'm hugging myself before I've even started speaking. I've lost a son, Jules Rose. He was 9. And I also lost a daughter who was 4 hours old, Francesca Rosemarie. So I do know the spectrum. I know it intimately. Like I said, I cannot stress this enough. Everything that I inspire within people comes from my own experience. Okay. So the death of a child is you probably can't get bigger than that. It's bigger than it's bigger than having cancer. It really is. So I know the stresses, and I know how much you do not prioritize yourself when this has happened in your life. I know this. You just want this. I mean, you want the ground to swallow you whole 5,000 times a day. So I know this, right? And all the triggers, I mean, like I'm growing plants, right? And Jules loved plants. So like it's taken me a long while. I haven't grown anything for a few years for this reason. I started to do it last year and I threw them all out because it was just so beautiful, and so precious, but so Jules. And I couldn't do it. But one of the things having cancer taught me was that if you do not start prioritizing yourself, and if we don't start looking at what you're putting in and how your body is individually processing stuff, then you might as well just put that bag over your head and forget about your life experience until your life is diminished to the point where it can't be saved. So I do know it's all about the emotional connection with this massive explosion that's happened, and how you're taking care of yourself. Like, i.e., you need to recharge that supercomputer so it starts to extract the maximum amount of nutrients, minerals. Minerals is a huge one when you're going through emotional trauma. And so that you can start to feel physically rewired somewhat. You can't go all the way. I mean, I'm not expecting anyone to sort of like do it in the sort of Olympiad way that I have, but I had cancer, and I was dying, so I had to.
Yeah.
So if you take that element out on a basic level, how you get your emotions and your food to join forces so that it makes you stronger, and you will get through whatever it is. You will be able to get through. I promise you that you will.
Yeah, love it. Fantastic. Gaffer, thank you for sharing this. Love you, Lisa. Love you too, Gaffer. Dawn has said varicose veins and sciatica on and off.
Do the varicose veins require surgery?
There's the answer. Dawn, do the varicose veins require surgery? If you can put yes or no, that would be awesome. And
what was
Dawn,
the
sciatica, on and off sciatica.
So that's stress related too.
Yeah.
That's nerve damage, and nerve damage comes from cellular debris that's left inside the body. So one of the things that we go in at below cellular level, and we give it a clean sweep, we give it a clear out, and just get the body's cells to be, because cells are so amazing. It's like these, like they like open like this, and they turn into sponges, right?
Yeah.
And when you're nervous, stressed, or you're just wired all the time, like just connected all the time to all this like bullshit that's going on online, every day, you're just connected to it. When your cells open like that, it creates these tiny little fungi on the surface. And if your cell is not healthy and it's storing debris, it closes again like a flower. A flower that opens in the daytime and then closes at night. Your cells do that. So anything that you've put on there during the day, it closes and goes in. And then guess what happens? Your body then becomes this miraculous thing saying, oh, I need to just move that. I need to move that. And it stores it really cleverly. So it might store it here or here or here.
Yeah.
And it stores it under the skin and saves it for a rainy day. But then you've got a bit of debris in there. And later on, 10, 15, 20 years' time, it will cause disease.
Yep. And this is what I've always said to people. What goes on here massively impacts us, massively. Maria's joined us as well. You know, Maria is
I love
one of your first food
Maria's done every single one of my groups. I
Love
adore
it.
her.
Love it. Love it.
She's been with me a long while now. She
Yeah.
met me at your
I
came
remember.
at your event, and she met me
Yeah.
there. And she's
Love
stuck
it.
with me ever since. She's just amazing. Beautiful,
Love it.
beautiful. Oh, she's the queen. She's the queen of sourcing bargains, by the way.
Oh, fantastic. Good to know. Good to know.
She is the queen of sourcing bargains. We had this big thing in the kitchen audit. We did a kitchen audit a few weeks ago. And I was saying about cookware and junk that you might have in your room. Get rid of it, you know. And she was she was sourcing all these things, saying, look, you could buy this.
Amazing. Love it. Love it. And she's put, hello, beautiful ladies. Good to see you, Maria. Good to see you.
Gorgeous.
And Dawn has said in response to the question about surgery and varicose veins, not sure yet. I'm waiting for an appointment to get them checked.
So that's an individual thing then. We need to know that first. But it is associated with nerve damage. Varicose veins is associated with nerve damage. So some time ago, she might have had some sort of stress factors that have hidden themselves and gone into her veins.
Right, okay. So
but it can be reversed.
Okay, so while she's waiting for whatever's going to happen at the doctor's, what have you got some things that she could implement?
Oh my gosh, the list is
just simple things. I can imagine this whole list going to go right down her arm.
If we started her off with microgreens and dehydrate her own food, that would be a huge start. Because like I said, it's 40 times stronger than eating. So if we take 40 broccoli, 40 of them, are you going to sit there and eat 40 broccoli in a day? But you might have a tablespoon of powder that you've made yourself.
And I can vouch for dehydrated food. I love it. Yeah,
Can you imagine what your health would be like if you did sit there and eat 40 heads of broccoli in a day, in sort of like an 18-hour period? You've sat there and you've munched your way through. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine all that iron, protein? It's got more protein in it than meat, right? But can you imagine the fuel injection that you've just given yourself? If you manage to get through, I don't know a single person on planet Earth that could sit there and eat 40 I couldn't even eat one.
No.
But I can eat a tablespoon of granules that I have created myself. In fact, I'm going to just grab one. I can see them over there screaming at me.
Go for it. Yeah.
I'm going to grab it because I am in my natural habitat in my kitchen, actually.
Love it. Love it.
I've just grabbed a jar just because.
Oh, which one have you got? Oh, look at that.
I forget StreamYard's mirror image, isn't it? There.
Yeah. So what are they?
So this is spinach that I did the other day. Nice. And I don't know if can you hear this?
Yeah, you can hear it.
It's dry. And all you do, see, I haven't ground this, right? Because I've got several jars over there on my shelf in granules, powder and things, all what I can. But if I wanted to powder this, all I have to do is this, and it turns to powder. And then I can put even more on the spoon.
Yeah.
And I can hide this in food. So like if I tried to serve up spinach to Ivan, my 21-year-old technical wizard of a son, he wouldn't eat the food. But if I put it in and he doesn't know it's there, because I make burgers with fresh organic meat and I put all this stuff in. All the people watching from Food Academy, they're all doing it. They're all doing it.
So here's a question, Helen, just for people to get an idea. If you had a teaspoon of that spinach that you just had, what's the equivalent in it for people just to get an idea? So we know, but what is the equivalent? So you get like a bag of spinach.
So if I had a teaspoon of this, it's equivalent to about 3 big 250-gram bags of spinach.
There you go.
in concentrated nutrients.
There you go.
And highlighting Sam Smith again.
Yep.
She's had phenomenal results with her children because they wouldn't eat anything like this before. And in the 12 weeks that, I mean, even in the first 10 days, she was getting calls from her kids' school asking what she's doing because of the concentration and everything was so different with their minds.
Yeah.
They were actually able to take part in lessons and achieve stuff, which they couldn't before, because she's been feeding their minds with all of this.
Yeah.
And she's noticed, and even with herself, she's noticed huge, massive changes. Like, she's not reactionary anymore. She doesn't react angrily to, you know, people pushing and shoving out in the supermarket and things like that. She's not reacting. She's completely reacting in a different way now.
Love it. Right. So Michelle has said, do you put the powder in food or drink?
Either.
Yep. That's what I was going to say.
If you've got fussy eaters, you can hide it in everything. I do. I hide it in everything. And I show videos every day of myself at my stove, which is just there.
Yeah.
And I show myself doing it live. Like, I show myself doing it all the time.
And Sam has put, I can vouch for dehydrating food. My children eat more veg and haven't got a clue, not a clue, that they are munching loads and loads of veg. Maria's put, love my dehydrated food. That was a bargain from Marketplace. I haven't done broccoli yet, but that's next. Terry has said, I really want to try the dehydration as my son and I are fussy eaters, and this would make such a difference to what we eat. Highly recommend it. I've been doing dehydrated food since being part of Food Academy.
Start of the year, isn't it? Since the start of the year, you've been.
Love it. Red onions are my favourite at the moment.
I love them. Absolutely love them. Immediately you said that, the jar started screaming at me.
I would put it on everything. Michelle was saying,
on eggs, like I said.
Yes, I've done it. Yes, done it.
It's delicious, just mouth-watering.
In an omelette, love it. Michelle was said, how long do they last?
Oh, this would last about 3 years. However, in my home, it's going to be gone. It's going to be gone in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly. Rahana has said, wow. Rahana said, so do you have to buy a ton of veg to make it? She missed the start of the interview.
No.
You don't?
No.
I'm going back to red onions because it's my thing. I got like
this was 2 bunches of spinach from a market store. This was just 2 bunches. This big jar. And this jar's about 900 grams. It was organic raw honey from a beehive, 900 grams, and it's completely full.
Love it. Yep. And you can add it to mince, is what Maria's saying. Sam's saying purple cabbage looks like crystals in a jar.
Yeah, amethyst. It's like
absolutely. I haven't tried it, but I've seen the pictures in the group and they look absolutely phenomenal.
And beetroot's like magic, right? If you dehydrate beetroot, now I went to put some in rice because I'm the only person in my family that eats beetroot. So I did some rice, like Indian, palau rice. I put the beetroot in thinking it's going to go a lovely pinky colour. And it turned this earthy, biscuity colour, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And it was like, I've tried to recreate this some other way, and there was it's just phenomenal. So beetroot is really interesting, a really interesting one, because it does the hemoglobin, it feeds blood cells and everything. So it's really worth getting that in. And I've got some beetroot growing in front of me, actually. I'm waiting for the hydroponic gel to arrive tomorrow to put these all in my buckets of solution.
I love it.
So I can show soilless growing as well. And incidentally, one of the number one things that I hear from people is, I don't have space, I don't have time. Right. My kitchen worktop is 1 meter by 60 centimeters. So it's 1 meter wide, 60 centimeters. Then I've got my cooker and then a table, and that's it. And I show this openly. I have my dehydrator sits on maybe a dining chair or in the corner of the room on the floor, and I just forget about it. My seedlings are all over the place. So they're just on the floor, behind the sofa, in the toilet, not in the toilet, but in the toilet room,
Not in the toilet, everyone.
The bath, you just put them anywhere. Like, and people have cats. I have 3 cats and a dog.
Yeah.
I have a 2-year-old granddaughter. So I'm used to excuses, right? These are not reasons to not achieve stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, but these are reasons what people give me all the time, thinking that I'm going to be sympathetic and go, oh, you poor love.
I love it.
I was dying, right? I was proper dying. I had to sit my children down and ask them what they wanted to be read out and spoken about at my funeral. And that is a sobering experience, let me tell you. It's like Mother's Day. I mean, it was 3,051 days ago now, yeah. But Mother's Day just gone in March. Harvey, my 15-year-old, threw his arms around me and he was squeezing me. And I thought there was a problem because he kept randomly doing this. So I sat down and asked him, what's on your mind? Tell me. And he said, I'm just so happy that I didn't have to go to your funeral, Mum.
Oh, wow.
I didn't really want to. Even though we organised it, I didn't want to go. Wow. Thank you for not making me. And it was, I didn't even know that he was, oh God.
It was on his mind.
I know that he was thinking all this time, since 2015, that he had that in his mind. So now he's been released, and he's been released because I was like, we went to watch Aliens last night. It was the anniversary reissue director's cut in the cinema, and I went to see that the year I was going to be 16, 1986, and he's going to be 16 this year. So it felt really special to go and sit with him, and it really did. So we're doing a lot of stuff together because he feels released, because he had this issue where he didn't want to leave, he didn't want to go out much, and he's hardly, he just studies all the time because he wanted to be brilliant. He thought that by being brilliant and really good at stuff, it would keep me alive longer because I would be really happy. He was thinking all these things. So I do know, I do understand. I understand trauma. My academic background is in trauma recovery, actually. So I do understand all these things. And I'm simply saying, don't give me excuses, because there are none. Because when you've had to sit down and face your child and tell them and ask them what song they want to play at your funeral and what they want to talk about or what they want other people to talk about, when you've had to do that, there's no excuse that exists that's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And so I've had to face stuff. So now, don't come and tell me I don't have space. I don't have time. That bullshit doesn't exist. It's just in your mind. Yeah. So I've got these seedlings and plants. My dehydrator's over there on the floor. I don't have space. I have 3 cats, a 2-year-old puppy dog, and a 2-year-old granddaughter. And I have visitors. I have a very, very active home. My children have got partners. I've got sons-in-laws, daughter-in-laws. It's my dad comes. I have a very busy, active life. I run my own business. I work for myself. I have the same things you have. I have bills. I don't have any debts, but I have bills. I have house to maintain. I have the same life you have, right? So if I can do this, trust me, you can do it. You can do it.
And Michelle's saying she needs to buy the machine. So
in the group, I give all the group details in the group.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to go and buy the machine, the dehydrator, hang on. So does the right, hang on, let's answer this first. So from Rihanna, does the dehydration intensify the nutritional value of the food?
Definitely, yeah. It completely concentrates it.
Yeah, there you go.
I just like to highlight as well that I am a busy mum. I'm a mum first before I'm a businesswoman and all these other things. Public figure, TV personality. I'm a mum first, right? I keep the costs extraordinarily low because I understand that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Rahana said, I hope this is on replay. It's in the group. It's staying in the group. So don't worry, because I know she missed the beginning.
And you're going to give me a link. You're going to give me a recording, aren't you? So I'm going to put it on
YouTube
as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Sam's people will make space, even if you have to in the lounge, laughing. Once you start dehydrating, you will not stop at all. Mine has, hers not stopped since the start of the group. I can vouch for that.
Mine's
completely. Yeah, I've got mushrooms, Swiss chard, I've got mint, coriander, red onions though at the moment is definitely my favourite. But
you've got to try thyme. You know, the thyme plant. You've got to try thyme. It's absolutely gorgeous when you dehydrate yourself. It's nothing like what you buy in the supermarket, dried in a little pot.
So you buy it as a, how do you buy it to then dehydrate? What?
Well, I'm presently doing it over there in the window, but you can just buy a fresh packet. Yeah, just buy a fresh packet.
Okay, and just
or three.
Right. Yeah, love it, love it.
Or three, buy a packet or three. You know.
Terry's put, what type of dehydrator
Be like
do you recommend? You still there?
I just get, I've. Can you hear me?
Yep, got you.
Can you still? Yeah.
Yep, got you.
I don't believe spending loads and loads of money on fancy equipment, so I've just bought a very inexpensive one that costs less than £50, and that we're all using in the group.
Yep, absolutely. And I can put the link in. Just remind me, everyone, okay? But to know how to use it, go over to Food Academy because you'll get all the information. Right. Sam's put, Harvey is the most magical, beautiful little soul. His smile is out of this world. She loves Harvey. Yeah, I've just had a chat with him before, and it was absolutely gorgeous to see him.
Harvey,
he's like, oh, Mum,
to say hello.
Yeah. Brilliant. I love it. I knew we couldn't do it in under an hour.
I know, I laughed when you said it to me.
We could just sit and chat for hours, couldn't we? That's the thing.
Well, we've done whole day events, haven't we?
I know.
We still ran over time.
I know, exactly. Is this Harvey's? Yeah.
Say hello to everyone because we've been talking about you.
Hello.
Hi, there's Harvey. Look at that smile.
Isn't he gorgeous? Yeah. Taller than his mum now, you know. Everybody comes in and says, what are you feeding him?
Love it. It's good to see you, Harvey.
Good to see you too.
I told you we went to Aliens last night. Wasn't it amazing?
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
Fantastic. And you're going to be 16 this year?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
My youngest.
Yeah. Love it. It's really great because everyone gets to see you, Harvey, you see, because we've been chatting about you.
Well, he's my parent. He's my biggest teacher, you see. So
yeah. Love it. Love
he's
it.
the one that sets the standards and the benchmark and everything. So if I'm not pleasing to him, then it doesn't make it onto a group. I always run everything by him.
Oh, I love
it. He
samples
all the food as well. When I create recipes, he's the one that tastes it all for you.
Fantastic. Love that. Love that. It's so good to see you, Harvey. It's so good. And thank you for coming to say hi to everyone.
It's great.
Say bye.
Bye.
See you later, Harvey. What an absolute legend.
He's an absolute star. He's we went to watch a French movie last week because he got an A for his French exam. Because that's another thing. I'm a homeschooling parent of 28 years experience. Yeah. I started homeschooling 28 years ago. So none of my kids have gone to mainstream school or college. They all walked into university and came away with first class honour degrees each. So Harvey's next. He's getting A's for his exams, and so he doesn't have to. He wants to, right? I can't stop him from learning. Yeah. He's just. I mean, I have this thing. I have a joke going on, and if I make a midnight snack, say, you know, something that we like, I give it to him if he's still awake, and he starts talking to me about education. I'm like, it's the middle of what the hell have I said to you? In the middle of the night, you know. Like,
oh, I love it.
Laughs, you know, because
I love it.
At night when his brain suddenly comes alive, but that's how I. So I don't stop him or anything because that's how I was myself.
Oh, I love it.
Absolutely. Back in the day, you know.
I love it. Right, you lot. What we're going to do before we jump off, you've got one more opportunity to ask any questions that you want to ask Helen. I knew it wasn't going to be an hour. I will jump on and do the masterclass after this, but I want you for now. Any questions you've got, this is the chance to ask them.
So I'm £33 a month.
There you go. £33 a month
by or PayPal, and that's all you will ever get charged because I want you to be able to afford to buy ingredients and enjoy the experience in other ways.
Love it.
And enhance yourself with your money, not me.
Yeah, love it.
And any money that you do send, it goes straight on Harvey, on his education, because when you homeschool, you don't receive exams and things for free. You have to pay for them all. So at the moment, he's coming up for 16. So any money that I make goes straight into another exam for him. So I just wanted to highlight this. I'm not profiting from you. I just don't believe in doing the group for free, because then it's not an equal energy exchange.
Absolutely. And everyone in this group knows that.
You're giving something, but I want you to enhance yourself. And I feel extremely passionate that you can do this life thing in a magical way and not be bogged down by things that feel heavy and the polar opposite of magical.
Exactly. So, and that is literally about £1 a day.
It is.
So,
it is £1 a day, because once you've taken out, once the bank, PayPal, and God knows who else take out their fee.
absolutely.
It
Yeah, absolutely. So, so it is all about prioritizing you. So, have I got any questions?
being present so that you can enhance yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm inspiring you every minute of the day to stay focused. Not, you get unlimited access to me. You can access me anytime and ask me anything. And we can go into holistic health. We can go into this sort of like argument that you've just had with your husband or partner or wife. You can talk to me about anything, and people do. And just having that someone there, even if I don't do anything or I don't say anything, just having that someone there, an extra pair of eyes on you, is all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody, I think we've covered quite a lot actually, which has been really cool. Helen, thank you, as always, gorgeous lady, for being you and for being in my world and our world, which is epic. And Helen is in the group. So if you've got any questions, you think, oh damn, I wish I'd have asked, put it in this thread so that Helen knows to find it. And please, please, please tag her, because otherwise she may not even know the message is there. So when you do it, please tag her.
Because I spend most times at my stove.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you tag her in. Sam has put, sorry, I chat loads. I just feel so passionate about Food Academy and love being part of it. Never apologise for chatting.
Say one more thing. I started off the group and you all joined, and it was only going to be 12 weeks. Within the first 10 days, every single person wrote to me in some form asking, they didn't want it to end because they'd noticed such huge differences. So I said, we did a poll, and I said, I could run it for the rest of the year instead of stopping and starting new groups all the time like I did last year, previous years. I suppose I could incorporate all the other things I do into this, instead of running a subconscious programming here, a food thing here, a nutrition thing here, a diet, a weight loss thing here, a physical exercise thing here. I could incorporate, and we could go. So then we all decided together at the fee and the rolling monthly membership. We all decided it together, so collective. So I'm very thankful for this, because I'm actually, I do everything alongside all of you, and I'm absolutely loving the experience myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get it. So for anybody that is watching, Helen, what do they do? So let's say somebody says, yeah, absolutely, I want to do it. What do they need to do?
Just leave me a comment or message me, and I'll send you the details.
There you go.
Personally, I don't have any automated services whatsoever.
Yep. So
you will get me 1,000% just me.
Yeah.
So I will
put that in there. Yeah. So everybody, put a comment in. Make sure you tag Helen in so she sees it. I know I will see it anyway, but just tag Helen or me in, so one of us knows it's there, and we will make sure that that you get whatever information you need.
Yeah, I'm available, right? So I don't believe in this philosophy where, for me to make a difference in your life, you must be available to me at certain times, right? Because life doesn't work like that. And when you're going through shit, it doesn't work like that, does it? Like you suddenly wake up in the middle of the night and you want to say something, you can say it to me. And when I wake up, or if I happen to see it there and then, I will reply. It's just someone, I'm available. So when it comes to things like this, like, just leave a comment. I will personally speak to you, send you the details. You pay, you give me your phone number, you tell me what you want to be known as. That is it. And
Yeah.
it's all posted on WhatsApp. I don't work on social media. I only give 2 or 3 live talks a year. So
There you go.
yeah, because
Love it.
I just am available to real people at real times that suits them.
Yeah.
Not it suits you. I don't kind of expect you to fit in with me.
Terry has said, can you send her the details? She's not sure she still has your bank details.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Job done. How simple was that? Love
Thank
that.
you.
Love that. Right. I am going to go because I need to deliver this masterclass.
And you're going to send me the video. Don't
And I'm
forget.
going to send you the video. I'm going to send you the recording. Love it.
Thank you
Helen,
so much.
Thank
Lisa.
you, honey.
I love you to bits, and I'm just so thankful for our connection and our friendship over many years now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I will get this to you. I will get the recording to you, sending you the most ridiculous amounts of love. And I will see you in Food Academy.
Yeah, definitely.
And thank you to everyone. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any comments. Thank you to everybody who has commented, asked questions, been really open with conversations on here. We really appreciate
I will
it.
go back through and read and reply myself after I've eaten.
Fantastic.
All this talking about food, you know.
Yeah, you're making me hungry, and I'm like, I've got these 10 tips to magnetize opportunities. I'm going to go. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Sam's put, love you both lots. We love you too.
Love you.
And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.